Hey everybody, and welcome to another week of Kinder Chat. This has been a series all about phonemic awareness and how to teach phonemic awareness in a small group setting. So each week I've been giving you just a quick lesson idea with a warm-up, a quick activity, and then an independent or group activity that you can do with your students in your small groups. So today we're going to talk all about oral blending. And what oral blending is students are going to hear the sounds of a word. So k, a, t. They will have to say what the word is. So they would have to say cat. When you're first starting oral blending, make sure that they repeat the sounds. So if you would say k, at, the students are going to say k, at, cat, and blend it together. So this lesson is going to be all about oral blending. So it's going to be more of listening, but there is also going to be a little bit of reading the CBC words as well. So the first thing I think that you should do is a quick warm-up. And with this warm-up, all you're going to do is have each student take a turn blending a CBC word. And I love to use these little listening phones with the students because it helps them hear what they are saying. So if the word was t, you would have a student repeat it, hut, and they would say the word. So after you do that quick warm-up, you can move into the whole group activity. So I like to use these little spelling cards, and all you need to do is pull up a Word document and create 3 boxes and print it, laminate it, and that's it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can even just draw it on a whiteboard for them to do. But what they're going to do is they're going to practice saying the sounds and moving them into each sound box. So for example, if the word was hat, you would say, they would put the first one in, at, hat, and then they would blend it together. So I would just do that with a couple different words. Make sure that you're showing them how to move the counters and say each sound. Another way to differentiate this is to have them locate a certain sound. So let's say you use the word hat, they said it, they sounded it out. Then you can ask, okay, I want you to listen for the ah sound. Where do you hear the ah sound? Hat. And then have them try to find where they heard the ah sound, which would be in the middle. So that's just another way to differentiate if your students are really quick at it and they're not having any issues. And the last activity that I would do is a roll and read. So with this one, they're really practicing more of actually reading and blending, which is completely fine. If they are capable of doing the oral blending, so they're hearing the sound and they're reading it, then they can do this as well. If the students are struggling a little bit, you could always say the sounds with them and then have them say the word. So all you're gonna need is a roll and read. This is found in my CBC centers. They are linked below. I like to reuse these, so I always put them in these little pocket folders, and a dry erase marker and a dice. So now you can either have each student do their own as kind of an independent activity, or this can be just an extension on your activity with your students. So what you would do is the student would roll the dice, 4, they would look at 4, and then they would sound out the word. So ed, fed, they would read it, you can cross it off, and then the next student would go. So again, if your students aren't quite ready to actually read it, here is a way to differentiate for those students. So you do the same thing, roll the dice, 6. They would look at the word, but instead of them trying to figure out how to say each sound, you just say each sound. So you point to each sound and say at, and then they repeat at, rat, and then they say it. So that is just another way to differentiate if your students aren't quite ready to actually read the words. So that was my quick, easy, simple, low prep and materials small group lesson for you to practice oral blending skills with your students. I hope to see you next week on Kinder Chat.